Hi, good people. Hi, TIs. It's Sherry, and today I am here again, once again, with some free and valuable information for you and you to help you benefit yourself as well as others. Okay? So, title of the video today, we got that smart stuff, baby. That's no more. No more. Otherwise, you gotta. Anyways, smart stuff. What is that? What's the smart stuff? Okay, well, today in this video, as I promised you guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about the smart world, some things about it, some basics, some pros, which there are many, okay, and a few cons, which are pretty compelling. Okay, so I'm just going to give a brief little overview of the possibilities and breakdown of smart world. Okay, so smart stuff, we got it. Yeah, it's not a theory, it's a capability. Okay, and as it's an agenda, it's happening. Okay, like it or lump it, we're getting there. Okay, so all right, just to lay down the groundwork here. Smart world. Okay, SMART is an acronym. Okay, so it stands for SMART. Excuse me, self monitoring, analysis, and oh my goodness, I should have figured this out right. Self monitoring, analysis, and reporting technology. Did you get that? Okay, let's do it again. Self-monitoring, analysis, and reporting technology. Now, self-monitoring technology. This is based in quantum physics. That's the how of it. We're not going to get into that today because that's very hard to understand. It's complex. It's not simply explained, or maybe it is simply explained, but I have to review it before I can explain it simply. Okay, so anyways, we're going to talk about the what. Okay, what is SMART? So the acronym itself is self-monitoring, analysis, reporting technology. So basically monitoring, surveillance. Okay, and when I looked it up before, I thought the word said surveillance, monitoring, analysis, and reporting technology. But anyways, you get the idea. Let me break it down. Okay, this is all based on signal intelligence. The fact that our brains, our bodies, and our total environment, okay, devices, phones, internet, everything that is the internet is energy and is run on signals. Okay, the brain, again, we talked about in one video, runs on chemical and electrical signals, and the brain itself and the body is a giant receiver transmitter. So it can receive and it can transmit. Okay, signals. So signal intelligence. Okay, there are whole branches of military devoted to this technology, of course, because it is a goal. What is the goal? We all want to be smart, don't we? Smarty pants. Don't be too smart for your bridges. Oh no, wait, that's too big for your. Okay, anyway, smart. We all want to be smart, intelligent, enjoy our world. Okay, so signal intelligence. Now, again, the brain, the body, and the environment all operate off of signals, electrical and chemical. The body and brain itself, as I just said, is transmitter receivers, okay? All of it. From each little movement to each big movement, walking, talking, running, activities of daily life, and every time, even things like speech, you don't think about it, but there's muscles, there's, things that the larynx has to lift up in a certain way, the tongue has to be in a certain position, the tongue is a muscle, all those things that we use to even speak, are based upon signals, right? Because our body, each part, muscle, tendons, everything, have to get the signals from our brain to make it happen. Even our diaphragm and all that. There's a lot involved in speech. It comes so easily, you would think, but it's a complex, synchronized actions of signals that are happening. Okay, hopefully I'm explaining this right. Okay, you guys get it. So, okay. So the brain and the body operate off of signals. Now, so does the environment. So again, all devices, computers, phones, TVs, everything. And they communicate with the towers and the satellites that also send the signals and receive. Remember, sending and receiving, transmission, receiving. Okay. And what can happen when the brain and the body operate off of signals, and so does the environment, you can then, follow me here, you can then sync the two. Okay, interfacing is the more technological term, brain-computer interfacing. Okay, so you're taking two things and intertwining them, and the two faces of them, right? So you can interface the human brain with the environment, with devices. Let's keep it like that. With devices, you can. I'm trying to think. Of course, there's a fire truck going by right now. Of course, that's fine. Sounds of life. Um, so when you're syncing, when things can be synced and interfaced, that involves everything. Again, everything: brain, body, and the environment. Okay. So now, when you can sync them, picture Alexa. Okay, so things like Alexa, but picture Alexa like on steroids. Picture Alexa like everything in the house. All appliances can be interfaced. Okay, so, and I'll show you an example of that, of the things used to do that. This technology can be used for good, because all homes and buildings now are capable of being set up with the smart world in mind, which means that every outlet in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in the bedroom, basements, attics, can all be hooked up with and interfaced, basically synced with what? With whatever you want it to be synced with. Again, picture Alexa, but from every outlet in the house. Okay. So appliances, you want to turn the fridge up a little. It's a little warm, you need to turn it down, cooler, right? Say you're getting home and you're at work and you want to turn the air conditioner on. Okay, those type of things, right? Maybe say you want to turn it off when you're leaving, you forgot. Oops, well, just go on your phone and tootle with it and you can turn the device off. Why? Because it's synced through the outlet to your device. Synced. Okay? Remember, the human brain and the body can also be synced. We've seen this in cases of people with, say, when people have disabilities, physical or mental. Okay, so say somebody had a stroke, they can't move their arm anymore. The arm is still healthy, the limb is still there, but the signals from the brain won't pass to the limb to make it function. Okay, that happens in things like strokes. Well, what can you do? Sometimes you can get devices implanted and get prosthetic limbs and make that sync the devices to make the limb move. It would be the prosthetic limb, excuse me. Also, too, with I worked in a brain trauma unit, and there was a boy who couldn't speak or walk. He was in a wheelchair. So what had happened, or what they did, he had surgery to have a chip implanted in his eye, and that chip synced with his computer in his wheelchair, and it could speak for him in real time. So it read his thoughts, because remember, thoughts, emotions, and bodily movements are all electrical and chemical signals. Those signals have been decoded by scientists, by researchers, for things like this. So when the boy got ready to speak, the chip in his eye interfaced with the computer, and he could speak through the computer in real time. What a miracle! Because otherwise, and I've seen more cases than not where people don't have that technology, and then you're just stuck, and they're stuck, and you'll be having a big group, and they won't be able to speak. That's a hard life. So this technology does have many pros. The boy could speak through his computer, but still, he could communicate in real time, because otherwise we have to do it the old-fashioned way, get out a pen and paper, try to guess, or sometimes try to have them, write it out. But if they have issues with their, with their hands or their limbs, so it makes it hard. So in that situation, that was really amazing to see. Okay, so you have things like that. Like I said, exoskeletons, people lose their limbs through disease process or through things like warfare, and they can get new prosthetics, and those prosthetics, not just like the old ones. We had somebody here that had a hook, in town. I'm not going to say where, but, a lot of us in town knew about it, and poor guy had a hook, for a hand. I mean, what can you do with a hook? You can't brush your teeth, you can't eat, you can't, pick something out of your eye, you can't adjust your, I suppose you could adjust your glasses, but, he could do things with it. But how much more so when they have like the cool arm Luke thing that they make, prosthetic device that's synced with the brain. Of course, it requires surgery and whatnot. And then this device with the arm and the hand, it can open, it can flex, so the guy could hold a can of soda, he could crack an egg, which requires kind of fine motor skills, but that could do it with that interfacing. Okay? So wonderful things can be done. Also for things like mental illness and Alzheimer's and dementia. I mean, we are entering a world where a lot of things are going to be able to be assisted with this technology. You know, imagine that. If you know what wrong pathways the brain is taking, then you can more or less reroute it. Okay, but that's a different subject altogether. I mean, it's not. But that's a little bit more. Again, that's quantum physics. Okay, because in order to reroute it, you have to know what route it's taken in the first place, which means you have to decode it, which again involves quantum physics. But it can be done. Because why? Because the brain is electrical and chemical, and those signals can be read. That's right. Okay. So, so what's going on with the goal is to interface and sync everything, the human brain with the environment, and we've talked about this before, with other human brains. Okay, and that's called hive minding. They've done it with animals, with rats before. We talked about that in one of my videos. How the one rat had no idea how to get the treat out of the maze, but the other rat had been trained and he already knew, and they hive minded their brains together. And when the first rat figured out, when the first rat did the thing to get the treat, he passed on that electrical signal to the other rat, okay, interfaced, hive minded, and the other rat, when he didn't know how to get it before, this time he was able to get it. Boom. Hive mind. That's right. It's amazing. You wouldn't think it's possible, but it is. All right. So, and that's for humans, that could be something that could be very helpful. Take the smartest human, all those scientists and physicists and all that, and sync them with the average human. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Some people's brains are just wired differently, and they just grasp things in a different way. So that's a neat feature of that technology, once it gets to that point. Let's see. So yeah, we talked about all homes and buildings are already set up, already equipped. Okay, that's when the digital switch was done back in about 2011. That's also when the Human Brain Initiative Act was signed. The United Kingdom already had it, but the United States signed off on it. I think it doesn't matter what president, but I think it was Obama. And yeah, Human Brain Initiative. That was all pushing towards this moment. Okay, so so lots of research has gone into this, lots of pros to fix, like I said, to enhance, to alleviate many ailments, physical and mental, and also to enhance just the human experience, memory. Imagine if you can store things and like I said, syncing and hive minding with really, the brightest people. That's would add to the human experience, if I don't say so myself, Wow. So, okay, now, what about some cons, okay? This is going to change our way of life, okay? I think you guys know that. It's going to change everything. Pros. Some cons, though, are, when your brain is able to be synced into the network, the grid. I kind of don't need to say this, but there's the risk of hacking, right? You can hack every device. You can you can hack microphones and cameras on pretty much any device, phones, computers, everything. Even, like I said, in houses, the outlets, and I'll show you that. Matter of fact, let me show you that before we move forward. But the point is, these things can be hacked, okay? So if it's your brain, it's kind of personal. It's more personal, your brain being hacked, than, let's say, your phone, right? I mean, it's already bad enough when it's your phone, right? Or your computer. You're like, come on, right? Don't you feel very violated? Like, wow, you're in my stuff. Why do you need to see my stuff? It's my stuff, You're unorganizing. I have it all organized in my certain way. You know what I mean? It's yours. Not in a selfish way, but in a privacy type of way, I would have let you see it if you asked, but, it's mine. Come on. So imagine how much more so when your brain is actually synced, how much more so of a violation would that be, okay? How much more so? Very scary. It's a lot of power. But with great power comes great responsibility, You can have all these pros, but then there's some cons with it. Mainly the fact that your brain can be hacked. Whoa, by who? Whoever has hacking abilities, So, but there's no way around it. It's written and it's prophesied, a lot in the scriptures. So, Christians and those of you who've studied Christianity, you understand, the direction. All this has to play out, so we can see, to see how this plays out. It's a court case, if you will, but we won't get too much into the spiritual aspect of that. But yeah, it plays a factor, of course. This is a spiritual war and a regular war. It's powerful. We're on the final frontier here. The human realm is having access to things that only the spirit realm once had. The spirit realm has always been able to telepathically communicate, or put in thoughts, or you know what I mean, influence that way. But now the human realm has it. Access to this, the brain. This is our most precious commodity. So how will humankind handle this? How will leaders and everything, the scientists, the medical community that are at the helm, how are they? I mean, they're just people. After all is said and done, give honor where honor is due. With the scientists and everything, they went through a lot of schooling. They know what they're doing, and at the end of the day, they're human. So, and they're like with everything, there's good and there's not so good. So, but just to know that they have that power, I don't know. The good people can do wonderful things with it. Pros. Now, if you got some people that are not so good, you could hurt a lot of people with it too. You could, for instance, something simple, you could be perverted with it. Say if you have access, you can hack into cameras and microphones. That means you could maybe rig up somebody's, I don't know, the outlet in their bathroom or their bedroom. What do you do in your bathroom and bedroom? Well, in the bathroom, you do everything, right? Go to the bathroom, shower, and you have to do extra stuff, right? Really, what we all do in there? Shaving our nose hairs, plucking, scrubbing, shaving. Private things. Same thing with our bedrooms. What do we do in our bedrooms? For those of you who are married, you're intimate in your bedroom or anywhere in your house, really. But particularly in the bedroom, who's saying that whoever the person that has access to it, the hacker, is of sound mind and is not going to take a peek and is not going to, there's some people, I'm not blaming them, but they have some really, some issues that need to be worked out before they should really, continue. and the fact that these people would have access to, just the fact that this technology exists. Everything is hackable. That means everybody has access to it who's able to figure it out. Okay? So that's good and bad. That means the good people are going to utilize it and use it to help. That means the not so good people are going to use it to continue in their criminal type behavior. And that's the bad part. Okay? So, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think there needs to be laws and legislation made on this, like ASAP. If it's a goal, then for the world, and they're, the powers that be are gung-ho on it. They're not stopping. We are moving forward. It's a smart world agenda. They sit at tables, the most richest of the rich, the most powerful elite, and they want this. Okay, and this has been in the works for a long time. It's a go. Green light. Okay, fine. But then wouldn't it be wise for us to get laws and legislation into place as well to protect ourselves and our ways of life, mainly our privacy? It's a big thing. We're a community type people, of course. We're very much pack animals type of people, community oriented, but we also need and deserve our privacy, and that's something that even the true God himself doesn't take away from that. He can look at us whenever he wants, but he doesn't abuse it. I can't see him looking at you, say, when you're in the shower, or, you know what I mean? I'm hesitant when mere humans have the power to do things. Just don't want it to be abused. Anyways, I digress. Okay, so what I want to show you guys real quick is examples of smart outlets. Now, you can find this, well, actually, every outlet, I should say, has a capability of being a smart outlet. That's the goal. Okay, so every outlet in the house. Now, you can buy these devices that can be installed behind the outlets. Okay, and what they can do is get connected to the internet like Alexa, and then you can, like I said, turn appliances on and off. But also too, I am pretty sure one would reason to think that these devices, if they're internet capable, that you could also, have audio and visual access. One would just reason, because each outlet is able to connect to the Gwen towers, which is able to be connected to the satellites, and the satellite have total audio and visual over everything. So then that would reason to stand that, you know, and in the future, the goal is to have every house and building, you know, um, audio and visual capable, right? Or equipped. Okay, which is what Alexa and things like that are now. You know, what does Alexa do? It has a camera. I mean, I hate to use Alexa as an example, but those smart devices, they have cameras and they have microphones. For what? So you can see and you can hear things. Okay, I mean, yeah, turn off things too, like I was saying, you know, refrigerators, air conditioners, heaters, fans, whatever, you know, but also, you know, the main thing is to look, right? Now, I'm going to show you the picture, but need I say too, this kind of lines up with the agenda of something they call the All-Seeing Eye. Now, to me, as this practicing Christian, when I think of an all-seeing eye, I think of the true God that created everything. And it says, you know, of course he's omnipresent, so he can see everything at all times. You know, and obviously he's not physical, so maybe eye is the word eye instead of eyes. We're, you know, humans, we got two eyes. Most animals have two eyes. But, you know, eye is a collective noun, okay? So an all-seeing eye. But when I think of that, I think of the true God, okay? Now, however, there's people in the cult that they like to say that their God, which is a creation, not the creator, okay, has an all-seeing eye. You know, and they're very focused on this. This has been a theme in occult worship. Oh yeah, you'll see it everywhere. Look around, you'll see a one eye symbolism. I don't even want to do it. You know, you've seen it a lot. You know what it is. Covering up the eye. You see it with celebrities. You see it with advertising. Everything. It's everywhere. It's very occult based. It stands for I think it was an Egyptian god, Horus, the Eye of Horus. Even in cartoons growing up, you know, I'm not going to name them, but there was a couple of cartoons. You know, there was one that had a sword and it had the eye in it. You know, the all-seeing eye, the evil eye. You know. One eye to see everything. So you see, as a society, this is what we've been gearing up for. The all-seeing eye. Get it now. Every house, every building, brains can be synced with one another. It's literally the all-seeing eye. Okay? So, but it's in the hands of, you know, humans. So I don't know. I don't know how good we're going to do at you know, managing that. But we'll see. They're good ones. We'll have to make sure that, you know, that they have their say-so in how this goes down. And the true God is in control of everything. So it's all you know, it's all prophesied. So, let's see. I wanted to show you guys. Oops. I logged out of there. Hold on. I'll just show you real quick. And you can go to Menards or, you know, whatever, Home Depot, and you can find these things. Smart outlets, okay? Let's see. Sorry, I should have had this kind of ready. Yeah, okay, so it looks something like this. Now, I want to say before I start, when I'm talking about this, because I know there are people that don't admit to it, but they watch my videos. I know they're watching, and that's fine. You feel free, but at the same time, don't assume everything that I do and say on my videos is about, you know, is about you. These are videos with general information. Of course, the general information is based on things that are going on, but they're not specific. You know, nobody's saying your name, nobody, you know, so don't get your feathers ruffled over it. You know, this is just general info that needs to be discussed. Okay, so don't worry. All right, okay, everything's not about you. My whole life doesn't revolve around my perps. They would like to think so, but it does not. Okay, as much as I try to, you know, do my own thing. Okay, so anyways, here guys, I digress. Let me show you. Here's an example. Oh, is this gonna be able to show up? I don't know. Look at it, looks like a bright shining light. Whoa. I actually have, oh boy, yeah, it's not gonna show up. Too bad. Hang on, I wonder, you know, hold on, let me turn the brightness down. This is totally not, this is not how I would regularly do a video. I'm sure this isn't the most efficient way, but we're working on a limited budget here, okay? So let's see if it shows up now. Oh, see, maybe there you can see it a little. Well, hang on. Hold on, it's a little better. It's a glare. Okay. Maybe better. There we go. See that? See that plate? That that plate, you can take off your regular plates and your outlets. The outlets are already equipped with them. Remember that. The outlets are already equipped to connect with the satellites and with the Gwen towers. Okay, so that's a given. Your house is already set up to receive Alexa. Even if you don't have it, you don't have you don't have money to buy it, you don't have internet, no problem. Our government has already said, just kidding, I don't know if it's the government. The houses and buildings are already set up with that capability. So if you do decide to, buy something, they're already set up like that. Yeah. So this is an outlet, and you can replace the regular outlet with it, and it helps to create a smart home. Okay, so yeah, it connects to the internet. This thing, you can install it anywhere. You see, so you're getting a good glimpse. Hold on. Oops, it's not there. Okay, this one. Yeah, see that? It's just a plate, but it's internet capable. So you take off the regular plates and you put this one on there. Okay, and you can do it at any room of the house. You can do it kitchen, living room, bathroom. So the issue with that now is that, say you got somebody that likes to, he likes to be a peeping Tom, okay, or whatever. You got people like that. It's a sexual fetish, because in our culture we've become very fetishized or sexual abuse, and when people have been sexually abused and they turn around sometimes and sexually abuse in the same fashion, sometimes worse. So you have to be aware of this, audience, that there are tools like this that you exist, and you wouldn't think. So be careful. You're getting work done on your house. It takes but a minute to install it, and then if the person is, a hacker, then they can override your internet and boop, log right in. There's videos on how people they think they have such great security with their smart homes, and all it took was a matter of seconds for an experienced hacker to break in and shut down all the security locks, and have audio and visual access to the home. The devices you think are nobody's watching. My phones, see this? This thing becomes a screen, okay, that can be turned on at any moment. So most people, you get home, I used to do this, you put the phone face up right on the, it's for any calls, because it's our communication device, right? You want to communicate. Same thing with your computer. Usually you don't want to have to open and close the screen every time, right? So you leave it open on the desk or wherever you have it, but just be aware, and we've talked about this before, this screen can become a camera, right? And you won't ever be able to tell the difference. You'll be looking at your screen and it'll look normal, but somebody on the other side who has it hacked will be looking back at your screen, or will be able to see you camera like this, okay, while you're still looking at your regular screen. Okay, same thing with the mic. They can turn on the mic. Okay, so you could be talking about sensitive things, finances, health, plenty of things, just be aware. Okay, and this is part of smart world agendas and smart world goals. Okay, so it's gonna happen. It's here to stay. What are we gonna do? What's a person to do? Go off the grid, turn off all the electricity in the house. Don't own a smartphone. Just have one of I know some people, they don't even get smartphones because of all this. I think that's such a good idea. But since I don't have internet at home, I use my phone for, for the computer and, for the internet and to do things like this, So, but like, what to do? Go off the grid? What if you can't afford it? What if you can't afford to go live out in, the country somewhere? It's expensive. Even more so now because of the agendas, they're not wanting people to live off the grid. They want you on the grid, right? So if you can't afford it, or what if you don't know how? Most of us, a lot of us, we're raised in the city. Look at us. Somebody else makes our clothes. Somebody else, we go buy our food. You know what I mean? And again, with the money thing, if you're raised in the city in apartments and stuff, usually don't have yards to garden in, farming. You don't know how to raise food. Oh my goodness, if I had to kill my own food, I'd be a vegan, like, right away. Because I do enjoy animals, so I wouldn't even be able to do it. Maybe a chicken, I don't know, maybe. Oh, poor chicken. It depends. I don't know. I'd go vegan if I had to kill my own. So what I'm saying is that skill of, livestock, raising your own food and all that, cleaning your own water. What the heck? How do you clean your water to make it drinkable? Making your own clothes, making your own housing. How do you build a house? I have no idea. So for those of us who don't hit those city slickers here, with no training, maybe it's not feasible for us to, we can't. And even those who do live off the grid, this is a world agenda. So, There's really no way to avoid it. Like I said, it's prophesied. The scriptures talk about this. We have to go through it. So, you know, we just keep prayed up and know that these things must occur, and just keep trying to do our best in the meantime. That's it. That's all we can do. Okay? And just keep our ears to the ground. You know, try to keep knowledge on this. All right. So, smart stuff. We got the smart stuff, baby. Right? Yeah, like it or not, we got it. Again, I didn't, with this video, is very general. I've gotten some good feedback when I do my general videos. In this video, I was talking about basically the what is a smart world, you know, signal intelligence from, you know, with all devices and the environment, with the body and the brain, all runs off of signals, so they can be synced. Okay, interface, you can interface the human brain with devices, as we see with, you know, with disabilities and whatnot. Also, you can, oh my goodness, you can sync the two brains together, human brains, two or more, just like they did with rat brains. Hiveminding, that's called. Yeah, so the system that sets us up is the grid, to makes it a capability. The towers, the satellites, the drones. Look up in the night sky once, see how many drones you see. I see so many. I mean, it's interesting, you know, because they do have their zoom features and all that. I mean, just the whole world is all in sync. So it's a different way of life. It's going to change. Our way of life is changing, you know, surprise, surprise. So, so yeah, that's it. That's it, you know. So we'll deal with it. Like I said, the main thing is to keep praying on it, you know, for those of us who know, and then also to keep increasing your knowledge. Keep on, pay attention to this kind of stuff. Do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. Do your own research. Find out how this works. Find out what the agendas are. You know, the companies, they talk about it. Sometimes, I'll just say this too, sometimes when you're looking up information, you think it's not, one company could not have anything involved with it, but then you do your research and then you find out, whoa, this company is actually the founder or the funder of this company. So then that again is a front company, you know. So there's a lot of that going on, so that it can't be traced, but it's the same people that are doing it, and it's okay, you know. This is written. It is what it is. This is an agenda. Smart world. So the rest of us, you know, let's learn about it, and let's try to figure this out. Okay, do your own research, and remember always that the true God loves us. Okay, and that's it. That's all I have. All right, thank you, everybody. Hope you have a good day. Bye.